guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex.
Okay, welcome back everyone. Anonymous Bites back. It is for me still August 12th, but it is for you guys. No, it's August 13th. Okay, sorry guys. For some it's still August 12th. We're going to discuss the Assange hearing, events in Afghanistan, Commander X's birthday, Twitter being all fucked up now, and an article we will probably start out with. I mean, Alamo, if you wanna do that.
Yeah, Martin Gersfeld, Anon, who has been in jail for about 7 years now, wrote an article that was picked up by RT, and he's had can't get his lawyer through the CMU restrictions anymore. Essentially, they just clamp down on him even harder. The more he tries to talk or get articles out, even through his wife, she's having trouble having contact with as well. So it's similar treatment to Julian Assange, the usual media oppression. But and I hear we're building another one of these CMU prisons here in the U.S. I think with 2 of them, we're going to have 3 of them now pretty soon. For more of you activists.
Yeah, it's really sad. I mean, Marty G doesn't deserve to be in prison. And is it already 7 years?
Yeah, I believe. Yeah, he's. Well, that was to Justina. I think her problem started in 2014, but it was very close to that. Yeah, he's been in prison quite a while now. Number of years.
That's disgusting. Seriously. It's such a long time for doing a good thing again. Speaking out for this girl.
Yeah, and then all the things he was trying to show via his activism essentially got squashed in court. He couldn't bring any of it up. And then he's taken on like the big medical complex up there in the Massachusetts area is pretty corrupt. So he hasn't been treated well.
Apparently, telling the truth is not appreciated again.
I think people should actually check out Free Marty G as a hashtag and get more active there. This case needs a lot more attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I will definitely look into that.
Yeah.
I remember his fundraiser got taken down right around the same time that X was renditioned to the United States too.
Yeah. Yeah, I see. I see that article you're mentioning now. It's from August 7.
It looks like a witch hunt on activists and journalists, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you had more anchors and reporters, walking off the job or getting frustrated, with all the, censorship and essentially the propaganda packages that they're being asked to push. They're just more and more of them have had enough.
I can imagine because, be honest, the normal mainstream news is all scripted. It's all the same bullshit over and over and over again.
Yeah, and so he's been locked up for now 7 years then, and it says that he's incarcerated at the federal penitentiary in Terre Haute, Indiana, and he's being kept in a Communications Management Unit, CMU, a special facility within the prison that is designed to closely monitor detainees whose crime is linked to terrorism or other serious misdemeanors. All his communications, including messages from his legal team, are read by prison authorities. And he gets 2 15-minute calls a week. And other people in prison get 300 minutes a week.
Yeah, and they're having trouble. His lawyer, consistent troubles, even just getting to him. It's very Assange-like, just total disregard of law and their own rules. I mean, if you're in prison, I mean, they're looking at all your stuff anyway. I don't know, like, what do you need a CMU for? Like we're already looking at your mail. We're already looking at everything that's going on.
Yeah, that part I get, but the 2 times 15 minutes a week, where others are getting like 300 minutes, and that for 7 years? It's like you're isolating someone completely. Like you do realize that like after 7 years he's not a threat at all anymore in that sense.
Well, yeah, and anything he might have done, well, computer-wise, is certainly aged to that point. But just the no contact with lawyer. I'm always big on that one. I mean, it's hard enough being in prison. You need some kind of support and. The no contact with lawyer, you need some kind of lawyer, some kind of help.
Yeah.
Isn't that a basic right?
No, the
Well, in the old constitutional America, yeah, but not anymore. We have an empire to run,
Yeah, come on, this is America. Psst, what constitution?
It's just that it's so it hits us like from all sides the whole time, right? There's like nothing sacred anymore. Everything is just going to be fucked up.
It's a freedom for me and fascism for me being the 1%, the national security state, and the military-industrial complex.
Yeah.
It has become a more fascist state, not just America, but in general, all the governments,
Well, and they're all aligned too. I mean, look at that, like this whole COVID scam. I mean, that was all lockstep. I mean, straight off of the script.
Yeah, Kovacs, the whole fucking shit.
was that event 201 where they was talking about it.
Where they gamed out the whole scenario, yeah.
It was prior to the outbreak, quote unquote outbreak, because I still put my question marks on the, accident, COVID accident, because I don't believe it was accidental that virus was released.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you had to get all those Chinese actors that were falling on their face in the streets there. Remember early on? I mean, had to get.
And we fell for it too. I mean, we were reporting on that, like on the air and stuff. Like we all fell for it. We thought something crazy was going on. Like I don't know.
Yeah, what happened? I mean, it went around the world, but then that falling on the face thing, that seemed to. Let's see, it was going on in Iran, maybe a little bit in Italy. All of a sudden, that stopped though, and nobody falling on their face anymore.
Oh, you're
It
right.
stopped along with the flu.
But yeah, the Chinese government knew what was going on and didn't stop anything. I mean, they even let people all over the world travel to China for Chinese New Year, right? And travel back. And that's how the virus got spread really, really fast worldwide.
Yeah, whatever. They were like faking everything at the same time. We don't even know what's real and fake anymore at this point. I mean, can discuss about the whole fire stuff again, but I'm not sure anymore. That's me being as conservative as possible. Saying it.
I mean, at this point, I think they want us to be so bogged down in, like, theories on how severe it is, or where it came from, or what it is. And then that's almost a mechanism in and of itself to take focus away from the fact that they're using it to push, these massive surveillance measures. And
yeah. This like that. They use COVID as an excuse to push all agendas that they normally couldn't push.
Mm-hmm. And that's where the Great Reset, Fourth Industrial Revolution, that's where all of that shit comes in. Because for the longest time, every world leader at the G7, at Davos, all those places, they're like, well, this pandemic has provided the opportunity for a reset. And it's like, okay, well, you're just spelling the shit out for us then. Like Klaus Schwab, you can look the PDF up online, COVID-19 and the Great Reset by Klaus Schwab, and he spells it all out for you in his, eugenicist.
It is like a magic show, all misdirection.
As they rub it in your face, though, that's the thing. It's like they tell you we're going to do it, they do it to you, then deny it as they continue to rub it in your face and all these rules and everything. It's the mind fuck of it all. And people fall for it. It's stunning.
Well, they have a great propaganda machine, the media.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, and I said it before too. I wrote that this is what I wrote in an article, is that it doesn't even really matter what you think of a virus or not, or who are behind it or whatever. It just matters like what kind of solutions are they giving and what is the effect these solutions have on us, and that is really not looking pretty.
No.
It's not.
No. Because it goes from removing your privacy to your human rights, your free press, the right to protest, your right to free travel. It's all disappearing like it's nothing, and they add to it this whole new system they're trying to build, and they're digitalizing the money system. They're completely destroying open social media. This is the only way we were actually able to talk a bit back to them.
Yeah. Stop the spread of misinformation. They're using such insidious framing of it too, like not only in stopping the spread of misinformation, we're protecting the real journalists, and we're making sure that everyone is arguing from the same set of facts, from one quote-unquote truth. And these are their own words I'm repeating too, and I know it because I'm freaking scarred by how horrible it is, but like these are their own words admitting to this shit, where they're going to use this whole thing as a guise to push for further censorship. And on top of the fact that it's also providing the new foundation, like new incentives to push for smart cities and all that bullshit.
Well,
Yeah,
it's the news that is spreading the misinformation. I mean, we endeavor to tell the truth to the people, right? As it is. And the mainstream media is really one-sided reporting and really censored. Right?
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Well, the biases. I mean, mostly a left-leaning, authoritarian bias, pro-government. But it's just gotten so ridiculous. The left and left media used to not be like that. They were still, they would still leak government papers back in the 70s. But you just don't see that anymore. I mean, they've just fallen lockstep in behind the government.
Yeah, well, I mean, both, like, the whole partisanship thing isn't op, because that.
You got off there.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, Republicans are a fake opposition party. That's for sure.
Yeah, my freaking Discord. But yeah, at the end of the day, like, the establishment is the establishment. It's the same. They just use it under the guise of right or left to attract different people. On the left, it's like the whole COVID nonsense, and then on the right, it's culture war, da-da, and they're just pitting people needlessly against each other. And there's so many different psyops that go into that to make that happen. So yeah.
Well, that's a really old strategy, right? Divide and conquer.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
when the people are divided and not working as one, they still have power over us. But if we all would stick together, yeah, you saw it with the Arab Spring. If all the people stick together, they can overthrow governments, right?
Yeah. Some of the things don't make much sense to me either, like that people are so obsessed to push themselves into like either like left or right corner, and like it's all the same thing. It's kind of strange to me. I mean, like, if I look at the right wing in the US, for example, like, there's a huge difference between, like, libertarian thinkers and these weird authoritarian conservative people who are in power a lot, right? I mean, there's a huge difference. Like, these libertarians wouldn't come up with something like a Patriot Act. I don't believe. So that's the thing. Also, and the left too, when you have like all free speech movements and stuff, where actually these free speech movements were advocating for normal workers to have more free speech, like normal people. Like, it's not really a bad thing. And then I think, and then now it is like big government, big restrict everything that is out of the box thinking. Everything is hate speech, right? So it doesn't make sense.
You're a flat earther. Thanks for killing my grandma type shit. But
even the flat earthers can be pushed.
It's like that like propaganda is working when people are seeing flat earthers as a threat. I mean,
even the flat
and
earthers,
like any conspiracy theorist.
But you can push even the flat earthers in the hate speech box.
Yeah.
Because you will just say that these are conspiracy theories and they all go together with Holocaust denial. So that's the main conspiracy. So it's all hate speech. right?
Yeah, I feel real threatened by someone who doesn't think that the Earth is round. Oh God, help us all! It's so ridiculous, and I mean, it's like Julian himself said. I mean, our oppressors are certainly unified, so it's like we need to have that same unity too, because all these fucks, when they get together to pass the worst laws and enact the worst policies, they're doing it as one. So, because they don't care about left and right, they can argue about masks and COVID all they want. You know, they're all going to those dinner parties together, being like, ha ha ha, look at the pores. So it's like, yeah, we need to be like that too. We need to be like, ha ha ha, look at these rich fucks and how scared they are.
You know, it's
Kinda.
always that all those debates and all those arguments they have, it's all show, you know, because at the end, when the cameras are off, they're all best friends.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, all you need to do if you're in power is attach these parasitical controlled opposition to any grassroots movement. Like someone speaks out about the big monetary system being digitalized. All you have to do is have some controlled opposition person repeat that and blame it all on the Native Americans who control the banks, right? And then you have it in a box. Like that's how easy it is. They just send these people in and they start repeating your stories, mixing it in with this bullshit that they can actually that's actually an excuse for them to oppress you, and you just take down a movement.
Yeah.
Well, it's that whole idea of these influencers. You know, it's just. I ran across some here the other day. It's like, you know, you see all this conservative media and individuals getting, you know, banned off YouTube and these platforms, and yet if you look at like the like say like turning TPUSA, you know, essentially, you know, running the Republicans, but now if you look at like say their top 12 influencers, all of those people are on YouTube, no problems with Twitter. No problems with all these other platforms. It's like they're protected. They'll protect their band of influencers, but the rest of the base and individuals, you can get lost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
TPUSA is a scam. I mean, I can't say everything I heard about them, but I heard some pretty fucking gross shit about Charlie Kirk and the shit that he does. So, yeah.
Yeah,
Well, it's just it's just scripted, so you can't. Well, and I'm sure it's the same thing. You see the same thing on the left. You know, you can have, you know, you're not going to see like the BDS movements. You're not going to see the indigenous, you know, get much airtime. You know, they get suppressed, and but then you'll see the same, you know, Pelosi-driven squad. You know, all that influence. And those influencers, I mean, they can say almost anything, and they get to, you know, blue check marks and, you know, everything.
Oh my god, that reminded me of the fucking shit I saw today with fucking Greta on the cover of what's it called?
Oh my god.
Greta on the cover of Vogue Scandinavia with like in like this most like white savior-esque pose where she's like petting a horse, and it's like, she's a future, da da da.
Did no one ever actually look into the history of Greta Thunberg, or no one actually knows what this person is about, or?
Yeah, well, and it's like all the legitimate activists that got completely overlooked because of all the hype around her. Oh yeah, it says the wonders of Greta Thunberg, and she's in a little woodland forest, and I'm trying to describe it for the people that can't see. And she's like petting a horse, and in like this glamorous whatever that is. I don't know fashion, so I don't know what she's wearing. It's some satin coat or whatever. And yeah,
You should get a Grammy for that speech that she gave. How dare you? You know, she should get a Grammy for that because that was acted. Come on.
I don't know. And it's like, you know, there's legitimate youth rage against, like, fucks for ruining our world. But I mean, the way that Greta was so manufactured to funnel people and funnel a bunch of activism right back into the system, it really is insane. Because I mean, people follow her, but they don't follow any of the actual environmental activists that have been like in the trenches for decades.
She's
So-
just the young Al Gore girl. She just pushes the whole carbon credit system.
Yeah.
Like sea shepherds who were activists before Greta was even born, right?
Hey, she's a high school dropout. I mean, nobody knows more about climate science than high school dropouts.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, and
we
that's
all know
not to
that.
say that, like, you know, young people can't care about the environment, but it's to say, you know, when when someone like Greta, who's buddy with Klaus Schwab, comes up, you know, the red flag should be going up.
You know who exposed her really good was Red Ice TV before they got banned off of YouTube and everything. I'll see if I can find their link, but they went deep
Cory
into
Morningstar has a whole series. It's like a book where she calls it The Manufacturing of Greta Thunberg for Consent. It's real good.
Yeah.
Big shout out Cory Morningstar. You're awesome.
I always refer to her as a tree-hugging climate troll. Sorry, but
Yeah, but she has this whole history going on. Like, her mom was a Eurovision Song Festival singer. She didn't win in the end. And then her mom wrote a book about Greta Thunberg, saying that she is the only person on the planet who can actually see CO2 with her naked eye. She's some kind of messiah. And then a lot of people were like angry about that stuff, so they got it removed from that book, right? So that's where it starts already. And then she goes hang around with that other girl. What was their organization? One or something, and it was completely funded by Rockefeller Foundation, Coca-Cola, and all these companies. And Coca-Cola is one of the biggest polluters of microplastics in the world. And Coca-Cola was pushing for Greta Thunberg. And when we called them out on that on Twitter, the entire article was removed from the Coca-Cola website. And I did that on my Twitter, and I had a pretty big Twitter back then, and Terrence was pushing it, and we both noticed that they removed the entire article from the Coca-Cola site. They were pushing for Greta Thunberg. And another thing is, like, I looked into the science before, and you had there's actually scientist called Freeman Dyson, and he said, like, to reduce the levels of CO2 with 1% in the world, you need 1 billion trees. Now, they're talking about CO2 levels being like 3 or 4% too high, and that's causing like global warming and whatever. That means technically you have to like plant 3 billion trees. Now, she has millions of followers on Twitter, right? This is about, I don't know how many she has now, like 5 million or something. If all of these people plant 3 trees a day for a year, they will have solved the entire issue that they care so much about. But they don't.
And where are we supposed to live then? I mean, we're gonna live in the forest or what?
You can plant the trees, you just plant
I am
trees everywhere.
down, okay? I don't mind forest living.
No, but I'm just advocating for the devil, right? If they really believe that this is the solution, they need to start planting the trees and not talk about cutting down the industries and whatever and destroying the poorest countries in the world because they can't buy the carbon credits like the rich countries can. So they should just plant the trees and shut up for the rest and don't protest anymore. Plant the fucking trees everywhere. That's
By the
what you
way,
should do every day. 3 trees per person daily.
it's also proven that algae and the oceans are producing more air than trees do.
Yeah, I mean, I just looked at Freeman Dyson, who is a famous scientist in the USA. He actually, if you're into like sci-fi and stuff, he's the Dyson sphere is named after him, right? In sci-fi, that would eventually be our future if you have like a whole.
I know something that is good for the environment. Plant a tree, but put Greta under it.
Oh my god, Ted.
No, I posted to Greta about it, but she never replied. Some people were positive and they shared it, and they thought it was actually a good idea. She has millions of followers. Let them start planting trees, but she never replies. And also, she was when the Amazon was burning, she was partying on some boat. I was also annoyed by that because she was traveling the world with some boat using like what was it, like dirty fuel for the boat, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, not to mention, like, her whole gimmick was that she was, like, using a solar-powered sailboat or something like that. Like, okay, you're traveling via the ocean to make your big, like, publicity stunt. Can we talk about the fucking ocean? Can we talk about overfishing or deep-sea mining or all the algal blooms that are happening that are completely just wrecking the ocean right now? Are we gonna talk about that? Oh, no, okay,
And she
never
also
mind.
needs to stop lying because she was also on a German train from the Deutsche Bahn, and she was sitting on. She was making pictures and videos of herself, like sitting like on the floor and stuff, acting like she didn't have like a chair or whatever. But later on, the Deutsche Bahn said like, no, we gave her a full VIP lounge and everything. So she needs to stop with all this weird stuff. Just be honest about stuff. You got a fucking full VIP lounge for free and everything from the German train company.
You know, environment, all good and well, but I think we are already a bit late on it. You know, we had to start in the 70s already. You know, thinking about the environment, but no, they do it when it's too late. You know, then they start to care about the environment.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
the
I
point
think
of
we're
no-
late, but a big help would be if we would get rid of our fucking military.
You know, yeah, military is also a big clue. So, but you know, in the 70s and the 80s, everybody, any factory was dumping stuff, you know, and nobody cared about it. Then we had to get involved, and then we had to get restrictions, and not when it's too late, because I think the point of no return is already there.
Yeah,
And
but
you-
it's not global warming. It's just polluting the whole planet. Yeah.
Yeah, polluting the planet. The point of no return is already passed, right?
Yeah, no, that's the thing. Like, it's just this point of insanity, but that is actually a good point to start with because that is when they started to censor dissident opinions, and it was even in our own country where these fact checkers were removing people who were discussing that they were doubting like about man-made global warming, right? They said this is just nature, these are cycles, and it goes in natural ways. Sometimes it gets warmer, sometimes it gets colder. They were removed, and it was blocked. So
It is true that there is a cycle. It's true, but we are speeding up the process.
We are fucking wrecking our environment. It's like at this point, I don't even focus on the debate as to whether, you know, climate change is real or man-made. I just focus on what's happening, and that's we are fucking destroying our environment. However you want to put it.
well, you have microplastics, and you have these huge plastic what is it, like islands in the oceans and everything. And microplastics are everywhere now. If you buy like a bottle of water or a bottle of whatever, there are microplastics in it, sometimes as big as a hair, and you're literally swallowing this. Gets in your
Normally,
body.
You know, it also has microplastics, surgical masks.
Yep.
Yep. So this whole
Fine
scandemic
fave.
made that like the whole pandemic thing made that infinitely worse, just because everybody was now putting microplastics right over their mouths 24/7 with the surgical mask, and then leaving them to pollute everywhere.
You know,
I didn't get that right, but yeah, you get the point.
Well, they
At the
find
moment-
fish and birds with plastics in their stomachs and stuff. So yeah, that is obviously destructive.
at the moment I'm working for the city, right? And you don't want to know how many masks I see lying on the streets everywhere, you know. And those
Oh, I
things,
know, it's a lot.
those don't decompose. It will take years to decompose, you know. And it was not just one; it was like 6, 7, 8 at one spot, you know. I was like, what the hell?
Well, again,
Yeah, I mean, like, I'll do beach cleanups and I'll take and I'll see one mask every 5 steps. And it's like,
Yeah.
that has the same effect as plastic, where it's literally, choking out sea turtles and shit. So it's like, great.
yeah, but again, we're dealing with the wrong solutions. The same as with this virus stuff. Like the solutions they're offering, they're not the actual solutions. They're just a way to introduce something else. And that's the sad thing, because these CO2, this whole credit score system is even worse than before, because you are locking in the poor countries. Like they already do it here. Like if you pollute too much, you buy green certificates. Like Norway sells a lot of green energy certificates, right? And so you're allowed to pollute as much as you want, as long as you buy these green certificates from Norway, and then it says on your paper that you actually produced green exhaust, from your factory. That you actually, have been working pretty green, right? Because Norway sold you some certificates. But the poor countries can't do that. So what Greta Thunberg and her friends are doing, they're pushing for this system that is limiting all the industry that is unable to buy these credit certificates.
Take Tata Steel in the Netherlands, one of the biggest polluters in the Netherlands, right?
Yeah, Assange is doing it too, and Nuon. They're big energy companies, and they claim we do everything with wind energy, but it's all not true. They do a tiny percentage with wind energy, and they're just buying it from Norway and Denmark and stuff, where they are actually do have clean energy, or Iceland, right? They do everything with geysers and stuff. So, and then they claim we're producing green energy, but we're not, and like. And the problem is, people in India are dying because of this. Because in India, people are still using candles to light their houses. They're at that point. They want to switch to electricity, but when they switch to electricity, they're going to pollute. And they're being locked in. They're being blocked from being able to pollute by this new global green system. And the guys the same.
But creating those candles, how much pollution does that make in the world? You know, how much impact does that make in the world?
Yeah, well, people want industry. These people they want cars, they want industry, right? And they're not allowed to get cars because they will start polluting. And you're talking about 1 billion people, so they're blocking these people. And China, for example, is not listening to them. They're just doing it. But China is powerful, and in India could be powerful too. But they're following these things, these rules, and Africa too. And these people are not able to be industrialize, while they are actually able to do it, right? They are fully capable to industrialize now and to save many lives, and they take people out of poverty there, but they're being blocked.
Coming to the environment, you know, I don't think that people ever learn. You know, there is a saying, "Don't shit where you eat," but we are actually doing it. Because we are dumping all this shit into the ocean, and we are taking our food from the ocean. So we literally shit where we eat.
Yeah, well, that's the real problem.
Yeah, it is like that.
That's the real problem, but they're not offering solutions to that. They're offering solutions to capping industry, and that's going to damage. And that the only reason is that they want to have their industry in this little region in Southeast Asia, where they're focusing everything, and they want the buyer consumer markets in these areas here. And
No, they rather put billions of dollars into space rockets than into, cleaning the oceans, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they don't want a powerful Africa or a powerful South America because they can't control it.
Nope.
And they don't want a powerful
Any
Africa because Africa
self-sufficient country in the global south is a fear to these fucks.
yeah, because a powerful Africa has the most resources in the world, and they don't want a powerful Africa. This is simple. And that's what they're scared of.
The most natural resources, and not just any resources that are necessary for like electric vehicle batteries and such, but also the fact that they have a huge youth population, which unfortunately a lot of these quote unquote global shapers just look at that as like guinea pigs and subjects and people that they can use to push their agenda. Like there's a couple of, I think it's from the UN memos, which identify Pan-Africanism and youth entrepreneurship in Africa as a way to which they can catalyze their quote-unquote sustainable agenda. It's like Pan-Africanism, which has a rich history in anti-imperialism, is now going to be, they're looking to co-opt that for the purpose of allowing these global shapers to plunder Africa's resources even further in the name of sustainability, please.
See, but you know it, right? Because you looked into it. And they want the lithium and the cobalt and they want the gold and everything from Africa, and they don't want local industry to take it. They want to move it all to the industry that we control in our locations here and then process it because the resources are cheap, but the end products are expensive and there's a lot of profit to be made in that whole process. I mean, even oil can be taken from the ground from like, what is it, 1.5 cents a liter, but it is sold for here in my own country for like $2 a liter, right? And there is a profit margin. This is like 100 or 200 times profit margin. Well, actually, if you would have the refineries if you take the oil in Africa and you would take you have the local refineries refining it there, they would be able to sell it to us for these prices, and that's what these people don't want.
Yeah, but then the corporations don't make money anymore, right? And that's what they don't want.
And they also suffer the environmental effects of it too. Like in the Niger Delta a couple of years ago, there was a huge crisis with how the oil was contaminating the local water supply there, and it stemmed from the problem that the local people couldn't control what was happening with their natural resources, and that's what happens, in a lot of places in Africa, really.
Yeah, well, Royal Dutch Shell is in Nigeria and takes all the oil from Nigeria, right, and puts these contaminating oil pipelines there, and takes the oil from the ground, and has a private army of 10,000 of soldiers there guarding these pipelines against the local population because the local population doesn't even want it. And they're taking all the oil and they're selling it at the highest prices here.
Our dependency on oil is also fabricated because there are alternatives, but they're not doing anything with it. I mean, hydrogen, it's a good alternative, right? And it's easy to produce.
Yeah.
But
Yeah,
well, I mean, that's one of the things that I think it was Cablegate from WikiLeaks, but I know it was WikiLeaks revealed too, was how much Shell literally infiltrated the Nigerian company, the country of Nigeria, to the Nigerian government, to the point where they were like almost, where they were quote unquote saying that they almost forgot about the extent of Shell's infiltration and how they had access to every politician and every ministry in Nigeria, and how they're just bragging about it in these cables. It's
and our former queen, Beatrix, also has huge stock holding on Shell, right?
Yeah.
It's majority stock holding. I think yes, right?
Yeah, they have it divided among the family to hide the fact that they own more than 5%. Yeah, because when you own more than 5%, you have to make it public. So what they have done, they divide it among their family members. So each of them owns a little less than 5%.
But yeah, there are a lot of family members.
These people are smart. They know what they're doing. If you own more than 5%, you have to make it public. You become like a big stakeholder, big shareholder in Shell. I just read that Royal Dutch Shell spends. So they also paid 65 million to 1,300 government soldiers from Nigerian military and the infamous Kill and Go police to guard Shell facilities. And they spent 383 million between 2007 and 2009 just to protect its oil installations. So that's close to $500 million in 2 years to just protect oil installations, and this is a lot of money in that area. And that this was specifically for a 1,200 member private security force.
Wait. Rob said Toyota is on it. Rob, do you mean does Toyota have a hydrogen car? Because I know that technology is there. There is already technology that allows cars to drive on hydrogen, but the oil
Toyota Mirai, they have a hydrogen fuel cell car.
And that is a good alternative. And it is less polluting because when you burn hydrogen, you get air and water, right?
Yeah,
That's true. But you know, hydrogen's pretty explosive. I mean, that's a you'd have to odorize it like gas and do some other things, you know, to really make it legit. But it's dangerous.
Yeah, but so is car gas. What is it called? You know, the gas tanks in cars that they have now. The propane, is it propane or is it butane gas? It's also explosive. So what's the difference? You know? But
CNG, compressed natural gas.
Yeah, exactly. But you know, it's excuses because they want us to be dependent on oil because it's making them a lot of money. It always comes down to money.
Yeah, oppressing half the world, but yeah.
Well, it's like they are cocaine dealers and we are all hooked on it. But instead of cocaine, it's oil, right?
Yeah, okay, well that's not even that far off, because in Afghanistan they also do it with the opium and with hash, right? They sell it here for high value too. And there are Dutch soldiers there in Afghanistan that is said by locals were protecting the opium fields there, poppy fields and stuff. That's what they were doing.
And not just the opium, but also all the medicines that are based on opioids.
Yeah.
There's a lot of money.
Yeah, and the local population, they pay very little to these locals. Just saying, even for hash, they pay very little money to these people, which for them might be a lot more money than it is for us. But still, it's completely unfair. I mean, and that's another that is Middle Eastern, but it's also like an African country, right?
I think that's also one of the reasons why Afghanistan got invaded. Not just to fight the Taliban, but also the opioid control of the poppy fields, right?
Yeah, and lithium, like 3 trillion of lithium in the mountains.
Well, the only problem with this thinking, though, is that if you spend more money on your military being there than there are resources in the ground, it really doesn't make economic sense.
No.
That's where all this kind of blows up, and it doesn't even make sense anymore, because it's like, well, you just spent more. You could have just bought all the lithium there was from some Taliban warlord, and you'd have been way ahead, versus what you just did.
Yeah, unless you aim for permanent bases, I guess, and you go for the real estate. Like you aim to sell the land for very high prices later on to like these richy millionaires who go live there or something. It's like, I'm not sure.
There was no plan. There was no plan. I mean, look what happened. I mean, was that a plan or was that just a bunch of bullshit? You know, that's what I saw. I never saw a plan.
No,
You're gonna what? Convince a bunch of Islamics that have been there for 1,500 years that they need to change what they're doing. I mean, if you're going to do it that way, I mean, you know, you're looking at a crusade. But so, what was the plan? You know, the minerals. You know, obviously not. He didn't mine any of it. It's still there. I mean, the Chinese are getting all the contracts. You know, so what was all this nonsense?
I mean, on that whole mission in Afghanistan, you know, it was all for nothing because America and Europe pulled back, and now the Taliban is taking over again. So what's the point, right? I mean, all those people dying there for nothing.
And now they're driving around in your Humvees that they stole from you as you left. You know, it's just who does that?
Yeah, but the Taliban was completely controlled. Like, you have these people since like Al Qaeda and like Al Nusra brigades and stuff. They were controlled. They were paid against the Soviets back then, and I think the goal is to destabilize the local government and have these groups actually run this stuff because they ask cheaper prices for things.
Oh yeah, well, because when the terrorists come in, you can indiscriminately drone strike civilians while plundering the land of its resources. So,
Yeah.
you know.
And if you have a stable government in a country, that government can negotiate with you and decide prices, right? Fair market prices. If you have some crazy organization.
And most of the time they won't. They're like, oh, you're the U.S.? Okay, you can fuck all the way off, bitch. Like, I'm gonna go negotiate with Russia or China. And that's when the U.S. is like, yeah, no.
But why negotiate about prices when you can take over and make your own prices, right?
Yeah, so you introduce some crazy organization into the scene that acts like they're super big enemies of you, but in reality they're just selling you the stuff for a cheaper price. It's like...
Yep, you Dutchmen are learning the American way, alright. Woohoo.
Yeah, I mean, all this time. It's like the old Rockefeller said. The old Rockefeller said you only buy when there's blood running through the streets, and this was in 1913. So,
you know, the American way is if you don't have a reason to take it, you fabricate a reason to take countries, right?
Yeah.
Manifest destiny. That's what you call it.
Like Iraq with the fake weapons of mass destruction, right?
Yeah.
That's right.
yeah, Saddam Hussein was put to power. The Ba'ath Party was put to power by the Americans.
Yes.
Because the old government there was replaced by Saddam. I mean, the old government was a communist government, and the Americans actually brought the Ba'ath Party to power and provided a list to Saddam Hussein of I believe it was 6,000 local communists who were supposed to be murdered to take over, and 5,000 of those were killed.
Yeah. It's like, hey Saddam, you want to kill the commies? Sure, why not? Okay, you used your weapons to kill all the commies, so do you want to give those weapons back? Okay, sure, U.S. Saddam has WMDs. We need to go into Iraq.
The thing is, first Iraq was the enemy, then Iran was the enemy, and they helped Iraq again, and then suddenly Iraq was again the enemy. Like, make up your fucking mind. Yeah.
Well,
just do what you're told. Wave the flag and banner. Do what you're told. What's so hard about this?
Yeah, well, Iraq was had big influence from Yugoslavia, from I don't know, not sure if many people know this, but Joseph Tito was building tunnel systems for the communist government in Iraq back then, and they were very close. It was a communist country, and the Americans wanted to get rid of that. They wanted to get rid of every form of communism. This is not the same as the Maoism and Russian communism, by the way. This was a different form of communism. I'm just saying. This was actually a communist government that had workers. Like you worked as a worker, you worked in a factory, and if you worked in a factory, you owned an equal share of that factory, right? And that factory was then competing on the capitalist market with other capitalist companies, and the workers worked really hard because they actually had an actual share in the company, and that's so the bigger the company got, the more money they got. So there's a different form of communism, and that's why there were 63 murder attempts on Tito by Stalin, and there were over 20 murder attempts by the Americans on him. So it was a kind of like a dangerous thing, and that eventually resulted in the whole Bosnia situation, right? The Bosnia War, where the West pretty much took care of everything. Massive genocide, everything happened there. So this is one of the worst things in European history ever.
Hey, Steve is here.
What's happening, Ted?
Yeah, we were trying to contact you to come on the show because we have something to talk about. That's why we wanted you in.
I'm sorry, but I'm in the middle of trying to finish getting packed up and get out of here, and it's slow going.
Okay.
I fucking hate moving.
Yeah, it can be quite a process, right?
Yeah, there's, 6 years and 5 humans to run through.
Yeah, of course.
So what's going on? I haven't been like paying attention at all today. I've just been doing this shit.
It's all good.
We was talking earlier about some Newsday getting harassed by YouTube again, you know?
Yeah, we got age restricted on videos that we already marked as not for kids because apparently we violated YouTube's sex and nudity policy on a show where you can only see the hosts and the guests from their upper chest and up, I guess. I don't know.
It's stupid, you know, and as I tweeted, you know, why does Newsday, get harassed all the time while other YouTubers, and I'm not naming anybody, but in my tweet I mentioned one of them, are spewing so much hate and not getting, restricted at all. Because they are really spewing hate. I've been watching them together with Divine. I'm not sure if he's already in the show here watching, but he knows exactly who I mean. And, I can understand that, because why are they allowed to spew hate, but when we say something, we got restricted right away, right?
Well, we at ABB won't, but for some reason we, the previous that episode we did, we mentioned every single keyword.
Yeah.
We didn't even get any strike or whatever. We mentioned every keyword. We talked about making bombs and everything, just to test them. But
I don't know if ABB gets a strike for violating YouTube's policy against nudity.
No, I have a feeling why we're protected. And that is because even though we are not affiliated in any way, Super Anonymous, that makes a lot of money here on YouTube, happens to have a similar name. And I think they're assuming we're part of the same Anonymous whatever.
Oh God.
So we're kind of having protection going.
We can never be on the same level as you're on Central.
We can buy capes and pretend.
You're anonymous cunt. Central.
So here's the thing, it wasn't just the one video that had, like, this violated YouTube sex and nudity policy. Like, there's a total of 7 videos now just in the last 10 days that they've gone through and retroactively age restricted. And this goes back like 2 years. All of the videos are marked not for kids. All the channel's been demonetized. Like, it's not like they can. There's nothing more to take away. It's just if it's age restricted, you can't view it without registering with YouTube and having an account.
Hey, are you sure you haven't been reported or whatever then? Like some kind of angry trolls or whatever?
I mean, you know, sure, but if that was the case, you'd think it'd be more than 7 videos and they wouldn't be so, like, random, because they hit all of the stuff that we did on Collateral Murder. We did, like, a show on the 10th anniversary, and we've incorporated it into both of the Action for Assange teach-ins. Those got age restrictions. There was a show that we did, I think.
One that the screenshot on Steve's tweet is from a show we did with Robbie, who's a friend of ours that does like financial reporting on like politics here in the U.S. regarding super PACs and like.
I know him, yeah, I've seen him around.
Yeah.
And in what way is that pornographic?
Well, we were talking about the Colonial Pipeline, Ted, so YouTube probably assumed that we were talking about laying pipe, and went, that's sexual, we're gonna ban it. That's honestly the best guess. I'm seriously, I don't know. I have no fucking idea.
I mean, come on, I seen videos on YouTube that are more pornographic than that.
Yeah, no, me too, which raises another point. I'm fairly disappointed in the fucking content that Slow News Day is producing in terms of, like, lack of, you know, nudity. We're just not really trying. We're not finding those stories, Glory. We're not. Did you know Britain doesn't have conservatorship anymore? We should be hammering.
Oh, good grief. Oh, clutch my pearls.
No, that's a good thing. That's a good thing. Brittany free. We want a free Brittany. We do.
Yeah.
We do. We can't get Julian, but we got Brittany. It's a step. Baby step.
Oh, good.
Be a fucking good finder.
Hey, on that note, there is someone in the chat, CAB. He says, I sent a letter to Commander X. I hope he gets it. Happy birthday, Commander.
Yes, guys, the 18th is Commander X's 60th. Well, you know what? His birth date is published on his jail records anyway. So, this coming Wednesday, the 18th, that's Commander X's 60th birthday. So, if you can send him a letter, please do that. Even if it doesn't get there in time, it'll give him something to look forward to, just because, you know, being in jail and not having any kind of court date until October 12th, it's little things that he's able to look forward to. Like, in calls, he's just saying how he's looking forward to, you know, being able to buy a cupcake for his birthday, and how he was happy to finally get his hands on Q-tips, and little things like that are really making it a lot more bearable for him, despite the fact that he's in, you know, what he calls the dog cage with several other inmates. His sister said the jail doesn't allow self-addressed stamped envelopes, and there can't be any tape on the envelope, so you need plain white-lined paper, no cards. Send mail to Christopher M. Doyen, number 312-314-885, PFN UMD 885, Santa Rita Jail, 5325 Broder Boulevard, Dublin, California, 94568. So
Maybe put it in the chat as well, because that's a lot of information.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a good idea to type in the chat that whole address, because
And something funny might happen or might not happen on Commander X's birthday that we can never confirm or deny. But
By
it's
the way,
really funny.
I wanted to give a shout out to the sister of X. Thank you for following me on Twitter, by the way. A lot to me. You know, I got that message like 2-3 days ago. Like, it's following you. You know, and like, what the hell? You know, okay.
Was
But
about
yeah,
time. I mean, you have been your friend of X for such a long time.
Yeah,
Could have been.
yeah, okay.
Do that a little faster, Amy.
I didn't want to say your name, but yeah, she's following me now, and it means a lot to me.
Aww.
But yeah, I still consider X a good friend of mine. We had a lot of fun times in a lot of worlds, also in OS Grid. And we talked about a lot of stuff, and we did a lot of stuff there, also crazy shit. Driving around in cars and flying helicopters and flying planes and spaceships. It was funny as hell.
We'll miss having him around, to be honest. It's like...
Yeah, it is like that. I really miss having him around. And somebody to talk to me, because, you know, yeah, you know, X, when he starts talking, it's hard to shut him up, but you can learn a lot from him.
Very. even in calls from jail, the moment you pick it up, he goes full speed. Yeah.
Well,
So it's very good to know that being in jail hasn't slowed down his pace at all with regards to how much he can talk.
but yeah, I mean, he's been in activism way longer than me. I think I was still in my diapers. He was already an activist, you know. But yeah, I see him as a mentor. You know, I can learn a lot from him. And of course, also thanks to him and on the local leagues team.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you guys are already saying it. He just has many stories to tell, right? And it's always exciting to have him around. And because of him, many people are attracted to Anonymous, right? Because the stories he tells it in such a way that is really attractive to people, especially people who never heard about Anonymous before, right? And that is a good thing. He is
Well,
a storyteller.
I can encourage people to buy his books and read it because it is interesting.
Yes. I mean, they're pretty cheap. I'll get the link for to buy his books too, and all the money that that goes into paying for his books goes to the fund for his baby boys, for Xander and Xavier, his dogs, and y'all know how much X loves his dogs. And
Oh yeah.
yeah, one thing that X really wants to say is, if you can, please go and adopt a baby boy of yourself or a baby girl of yourself, and get a dog because they're awesome.
Well, as a dog owner, I know how he must feel, you know, missing his dogs because, like I said, I'm a dog owner myself. I think you saw the pictures coming by with the Free Commander X, the little Jack Russell Terrier. That was that's my dog, actually.
Yeah, I do want to give a quick disclaimer on X books. I know he gave permission to say this in the past. Okay, so there will be some people saying like, yeah, maybe he just wants to make money or whatever with his books. If you really don't have any money, you can read these books for free too. Just saying.
It's true.
Yeah, I got the books for free.
And just because I don't want to feel left out, I do get to go hang out with a dog next week.
Nice.
Aww.
I'm stoked. Our friend Kendra got a puppy. I'm going out to Denver for some Assange events.
Puppy.
I will take lots of pictures.
He's such a cute puppy.
That
Oh.
dog is horrible, man. But so this coming Friday, not tomorrow, but the one after that, and then Saturday in Denver, Colorado, we're doing 2 days of Assange-related events. We're going to meet at, I think, the CBS building on Spear Boulevard in Cherry Creek area of Denver at 10 a.m. on Friday morning. We're going to do a caravan to different media outlets. Immediately after that, there's going to be a panel discussion on the Convo Couch with us and Kevin Gustola and I think Tarek Haddad. I think I got Tarek to, at least I was talking to him for a while last night. And then Saturday, we're going to recreate the Anything to Say sculpture of Julian, Ed Snowden, and Manning standing on the chairs with a fourth empty chair for anyone who has anything to say. So we're going to try that out. We set it up in D.C. in front of the Department of Justice last July for the end of the Home Run for Julian tour. John and Gabriel shipped it. Looked really cool. It did. I like the way that thing looked. I think it'll be an eye catcher for the event. And very much looking forward to that. So if anybody's listening right now, you're anywhere near Denver, Colorado, hit us up. I am on Twitter at Slow News Day Show. The events again Friday and Saturday, August 20th and 21st, 10 a.m. and noon respectively. And yeah, please come down. Please hang out. Going to be a really good time. One of the guys from the Flowbots is going to be there. John 5. Charlie Robinson, my good friend, host of Macroaggressions, author of The Octopus of Global Control, among other books. The Controlled Demolition of the American Empire. Fantastic book. Pick that one up if you haven't. But yeah, good times.
But yeah,
Right in his DMs, y'all.
I have to admit, I got the books for free too from X personally, and the digital way. And actually, I put it on a reader, so it was I was just sitting here listening to his book, and it is just fascinating. His book, the story that he has to tell is just fascinating, right?
Yeah, it's really good.
I mean, his first book already, I was hooked. You know, I was just halfway the book. I was already like, oh, I want to know what happens next. You know, how he's telling the
Didn't you know what happened next, Ted, though?
yeah, but you know, he of telling the story in his books. You know that hooks you, right? Especially the part where he's telling the story about how he went to Canada. That was fascinating. The whole underground network that they had, safe houses and everything. That was really interesting.
I mean, yeah, he's a great storyteller.
Yeah. Yeah, like I said, when he starts telling a story, it's hard to shut him up, but you can actually learn a lot from him.
Yeah.
I think part of the lesson there was to do it on a bicycle, right? You could slide through a lot of places just riding a bicycle. You know, nobody gives you any shit.
Well, I think the last part of the journey, he didn't foot to the Canadian border. He went, I think, somewhere in the middle of nowhere through that forest over the border to Canada.
Yeah.
But yeah, I had also, like I said, a fun time with him on Open Grid, which is basically almost the same as Second Life, only for free. Yeah, we had a fun time there, and he also was telling stories and telling stuff, and etc. And yeah, we had a lot of fun time there, and I kind of missed that, There was a time that X went dark. There was like nothing on social media from him and everything, and actually we were kind of worried about him, that what was going on, that he went completely dark. I hear crickets.
Is that what crickets sound like to you, Ted?
Yeah, I can't imitate that sound, but I can.
Have you guys talked about Joe Biden saying he's going to release secret 9/11 files on Saudi Arabia after victims' families told Joe Biden not to show up at the 9/11 memorial unless he releases the files. Well, so here's what happened, though. There were a whole bunch of 9/11 victims' families that had been filing petition after petition and lawsuit after lawsuit to have, previously withheld files released. And like they flat out disinvited the president from their 20th anniversary ceremony. So Biden goes, yeah, okay. I mean, it's what, 1,800 family members flat the fuck out told him, you can't show up to the memorial service. No, don't fucking think about it. So Biden goes, yeah, we'll do that. We will. Let me throw it over to the FBI. And so now it's in the FBI's court, and they're going to disclose information on a rolling basis as expeditiously as possible.
Oh yeah, totally. I totally believe them in that. In the best faith, they're gonna help us get to the bottom of what happened on 9/11.
I would wager
You can see the excitement and sincerity in my voice.
I would wager that the amount of people who genuinely believed they were going to get some sort of disclosure on JFK from Donald Trump, greater than the number of people who think they're going to get anything on 9/11 from Biden.
Never, because I believe both of them, the government is behind it. And they're never gonna admit it, right?
Yeah.
Well, they'll give you some bullshit theory like the single bullet theory. They'll give you that much.
Oh, what, Alamo? You don't believe the magic bullet theory?
No.
Yeah, man. The church committee did so much to get to the bottom of that.
Warren Commission.
Oh shit, my bad.
Warren Commission. Church committee was about 10 years later, and just as effective.
That's about Project Mockingbird, right? The Church Commission.
Operation Mockingbird was disclosed in that. So was chaos. They talked about chaos in the church committee. Very reluctantly. They also broke out the heart attack gun.
Yep.
Oh my fucking god, I can't believe it. That just went away from discourse.
Yeah.
The fact that we actually developed a fucking heart attack gun that couldn't be traced. Yes. Like imagine how much more advanced it is now.
I mean, for real, they're just fucking with frequency and getting at people.
Yeah.
You don't even need to shoot somebody anymore. You can sonically cripple them.
Yeah.
Put fucking
I mean,
thoughts in their head.
Lockheed Martin has fucking laser ads out there. Yeah, we could shoot lasers
drones.
from drones in a couple years. Directed energy, who? Oh, no, nothing to see here. We're just spending
Micro
something. Yeah, sure.
drones that have a 3-grain charge that if they fly directly into your forehead, that charge will make it all the way through your brain.
But didn't they do that with embassies? The energy weapons. They did that with a few embassies, right?
Yeah, well, that's what the whole Havana syndrome thing is supposed to be.
Mm-hmm.
Is some sort of frequency weapon or direct energy weapon.
Sounds more like.
But they. Bad.
Also more like something like you have after vacation, Havana syndrome. Too much rum.
Yeah, I always thought Havana syndrome was waking up next to, a Cuban hooker, but apparently it's a direct energy weapon.
I seen them.
Cuban hookers?
I've been to Cuba, so I seen them.
I would love to go to Cuba. I
Me
would.
too.
I would. It looks like a beautiful place. I've met everybody that I've met from Cuba that isn't just a full-on gusano. Fucking wonderful human being.
That's so true. That's like 100% facts.
And then just from talking to like Reverend Annie, a couple other people that I know that like were in Cuba late 60s, early 70s, like that place was fucking wild. It was way more wild when the mob was there, before Castro. But, also incredibly impressive.
Yeah. And as a
But-
Caribbean island, I can vouch for it. We're pretty fucking awesome, so.
But man, dude, you hear Cuba stories from when it was the mobs? Fuck. I mean, they left all their cars there.
Yeah.
You go find parts for a 53 fucking Bel Air in Cuba easier than you can from any of the GM heads.
I've been.
My god, Twitter's user interface change is fucking garbage.
How many people did you accidentally unfollow?
None, but it's like, I can't even tell if I'm following people, because it's like, now it's black and white, so I keep thinking that like Twitter scrubbed a bunch of my follows, and then I go to follow them and I'm like, wait, it already says I'm following them. The fuck is this shit?
I've been to.
What the hell is this font? Okay, sorry.
Well, of 2013 somewhere, I went to Cuba, so it was still communism there, communism, people were really scared to talk about certain stuff. But yeah, it was an interesting experience, experiencing Cuba, And by the way, the people at the border checking the passports, no sense of humor. Really, they have no sense of humor there. Because there was some woman there checking my passport and looking at my photo in the passport, looking at me, and I was just making it like a big smile, like a fake smile, like smile, And she was like, I was like, oh shit, no sense of humor.
And that's what custom agents are like here too. Or at least all the ones that I've seen.
In the Netherlands, you can make a joke or just do some small talk and they talk back. They're not particularly unfriendly, right, Mark?
No, they're not. No, they're just doing their job, I guess. I don't know. But like, do we even have like fucking customs here still? I don't know.
They do, and they are actually stupid because I went back from Cuba with my wife.
But you're talking about cars you say in the airport, right, or something?
Yeah,
Okay.
and they are stupid. No, because we came back from Cuba, and I had way too much tobacco with me, way too much rum with me, way too much.
Allegedly.
And the thing was, I had like a duty-free bag full of all that stuff. You know, they checked my suitcases, and they was like, okay. And I was like, stupid ass, if you just look into my bag here, you would not say
You should be thanking them, Ted. Jeez.
Yeah, dude, you thank the Lord for that, Ted, and then you hope that they never catch on. You put the energy out that they keep hiring incompetents because you don't want to be stuck with Johnny on the spot the next time you're going through that line.
You don't want to be stuck with like some uptight fuck that's gonna get rid of your conditioner bottle if it's too big. Oh my god, or some dumb shit like that. Because in the U.S., it's the only thing that you get is like, oh, you've been randomly selected for an extra security check.
Every single
Well,
time.
we can make 9/11 for that, right? The whole conditioner stuff and everything.
Yeah.
That's all post 9/11.
Yeah, inconveniently, it always happens to me and Steve.
Well,
It doesn't feel random.
It really doesn't.
Well, it's
Every
completely
time.
random. It's completely random. Trust it.
When it's every time, it feels way less random. There's like 2 times this year where I didn't get pulled for extra screening, but both of those times my flight got fucked with.
Yeah.
well,
When I was on my way to DC for the protest on the 17th, yeah, actually, I forgot if it was on the way there or on the way back, but it was one of those 2 flights. I was traveling with like chalk, and I had it in my bag, and I forgot to like organize my shit properly so that way my Guy Fawkes mask was in the same bag as my chalk. So like you see them doing like a security check and going through my bags and shit, and they just pull out this Guy Fawkes mask, and I'm just staring at them like, yeah. I don't know what to tell you. Like, I'm going to
right? Now explain that one.
I still don't get how you were able to get that plane last time, Steve. But I don't think I even want to know. But
So they bumped my flight because they'd oversold it. That's what they told me when I went to go board. They're like, no, we oversold it. You can't get on. You know, you're going to have to go. And they told me to go to some other gate. So I go over there and they're like, well, we'll put you on the standby list. But since you missed your flight, you're going to have to wait. Like, you're at the end of the line. And I was like,
I would be like, you and what army will stop me to get on this flight? You know?
oh, dude,
Ted, that doesn't work at airports.
I was like, okay, man, this shit never works out for me, but I'm gonna try it. I was polite, but I was insistent. I'm like, no, you need to talk to the, bitch at gate 43 who told me that they had oversold the flight and I got bumped.
yeah.
And it took hours and I think 6 or 7 different people behind the counter before they finally tracked that bitch down. And she was like, yeah, we oversold the flight. What? But between me getting off the plane and me getting to the next gate, it had changed in their system that I missed my flight instead of I was bumped.
I was actually flagged in Cuba. And nothing wrong, but yeah, Dutch, long hair, skinny type, because I was really skinny back then, and so I walked through the passport check, and went for my bags, my suitcases, and we was walking into the big hallway, of the airport, when two officers stopped me and started to ask me stupid questions do you smoke? And yeah. What do you smoke? Cigarettes, sometimes cigars, because I do enjoy a cigar now and then, and I knew that question was coming, and he cannabis? And yeah, I knew it, That's stereotypical. Not every Dutch guy smokes weed,
I mean, this Dutch guy does, but not every Dutch guy.
No, I don't smoke weed since 93, 94 somewhere.
Oh, damn.
So, yeah, they did a swipe on my arms, the sweat on my arms, and checked it, and I checked it okay, because I didn't smoke for a no time, Oh yeah, it was kind of stereotypical that they flag out the Dutch guys because they smoke weed. Everybody in the Netherlands smokes weed, everybody of the Netherlands who lives in windmills and carries wooden shoes.
Windmills.
That's how you profile a Dutchman.
Now I still don't know. Now I still don't know how you eventually got on that fucking plane, Steve. Because we were talking back then. We were searching for another plane to get on and stuff, and they said it was oversold. And
Oh, I was talking to you. I was talking to Pamela. There were a couple of people that I was battling, or not battling, but just kind of going back and forth with. There was a very pretty, very friendly black girl who was trying to buy me drinks, and I'm like, but I don't drink, but I will watch you drink, and I will have a soda, and fucking, we're Instagram friends now.
Oh my god.
For real though, dude, she's cool shit.
What is it with you getting girls in methods of transport, Steve?
I mean, I don't know. I don't. But you fucking put me in the vicinity of a fine ass black woman on a plane or a train. We're talking. We are. We're talking. This is how that shit works. But no, dude, Mark, it was just constantly battling, trying to get somebody in customer service to find the original woman at the first gate when my flight got bumped. And once we finally found her, and she was like, "No, it was overbooked. That was our fault." Then they put my name back in the line for the standby flight. And when they started calling off people to board, there was room. So I slipped on and fucking got there.
okay, that's really lucky.
Yeah, and I was lucky that the woman at the original gate told the truth too.
Oh yeah.
She could have easily just been like, I don't know what you're talking about. And then I would have had charges.
I found something to fill up the empty gaps. Just this. Quick
Hey man, that's better than having your walk-on music being Brahms' lullaby.
Oh.
That was just for Mark because he overslept last time.
That was for our Luby buy.
Yeah. This is the
You're on
second
call
episode.
this time. Good job.
The second episode today I'm being bullied with that. I said it the last time too. Like, people don't know how much I'm being bullied behind the scenes. Like, this is like,
Oh my god.
no, I'm kidding.
Instead
That's the best people ever.
Instead of Sleepy Joe, it will be Sleepy Mark.
Yeah. I am sleepy sometimes. I sleep too little, so when I fall asleep, it's hard for me to wake up.
Well, in your defense, you are doing a lot of stuff, so simultaneously, so I don't blame you. I mean, you're active in so many projects, right?
A little less now, but yeah, still, yeah. And people always
Yeah.
ask me for stuff too, and that's the thing. You get like so many DMs with things, and you always have to reply.
But maybe you should learn to say no because you're overdoing yourself, you know,
Yeah.
and they'll catch up to you.
Yeah, but the thing is, situation is getting worse fast, and you have to do something about it.
True.
It's going really fast now, and like, I feel like if I don't do certain things, then I feel like later on I fuck things up, and I want that. Like, you start feeling guilty for not doing enough or something.
Yeah, I have the same, but
Every activist gets that to a degree.
Yeah.
yeah, I have the same, but on the other side, I had to think of my health as well, you know. I'm not 20 anymore, and staying up for 72 hours like I did when I was 20, I can't do that anymore. You know, so yeah, I had to think a little bit about getting healthy food. Oh, shut up, stupid phone. I had to think about you know, eating healthy and getting enough sleep because next to all my activism work, I also normally work. You know, I have a normally job to do.
I'm
Yeah.
about to get back into that. I'm about to get back into like 8 or 10 hour a day building, and then like 3 or 4 days a week doing the show.
Well, we all got older and we all got more quiet, right? I think that's just a natural process.
I don't know, man. I've gotten
I
handsomer
don't
and
think you
louder
get
as I
quiet.
get. Yeah, yeah. I've only gotten better looking and louder as I get older.
Well,
I've only gotten louder so far. I hope to keep
But
it on
also
the
more
trajectory.
So it
well, you're
balances
still,
out.
you're still young, Nori. I mean,
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm hoping to keep it on the trajectory of getting louder because, like, I said this during the interview with Deepa, and, you know, like, I don't mean it to be violent in any way, shape, or form, but I'm just saying, like, some of these fucks, I want to make it so that they can't sleep.
well, with you screaming around, they will not sleep.
See, that can't be taken as violent, because if you were to be violent, you would say, I want these fucks to sleep forever.
See? Exactly. Thank you, Steve.
So, yeah, no, that seems purely positive to me.
Yes.
As we were joking earlier, you know, you're 20, I'm 44, so that's quite a difference, right? I could
Oh,
be
sweet, I'm younger than you. Didn't know I was younger than you, Ted. Thank you. That made my night.
I'm old, I know.
43.
44. I know.
Oh, snap.
I'm 43.
Oh, so you're from 78.
I am, indeed.
Yeah, I'm 77.
Starting to feel like a total kid around here now.
So we're Generation X, right?
Yeah, the last free generation.
Here they go again.
Hey, man, I will say this, dude. Because of like just how fucked Gen X was from the get-go, we've produced a pretty consistent amount of like anarchists or non-participants in government, as opposed to like the millennials who still think Bernie Sanders is coming to save them. They also think that they're in a real Harry Potter house. So I can't.
Millennials kind of choked.
Right, Glory? Hint, 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 hint. Because,
I'm not a millennial. I'm a Zoomer.
She's Gen Z. It's not her fault.
Yeah, like we're the ones that are like, hey, yo, what the fuck, millennials? You guys choked.
Yeah, no, that is kind of like,
and now we're well on our way to choking too because of fucking social media psyops bullshit in the World Economic Forum pushing all their, oh my god, we want to use the youth to drive our sustainable agenda, yay!
I have seen in the last like 72 hours some content creators starting to pick up on what you and I were reporting last year, Jones, about like the influencer army and shit like that. Like just now people are figuring that out.
I think X is generation, the baby boomer generation, right? I mean,
No, X is technically at the very beginning of Gen X.
oh yeah, 60s, right?
I think his is year one for Gen X. I'm not kidding. I'm not.
That's why we got along that well.
Yeah, he's at the very beginning. We're at the very end of it.
Well, not sure because
So you're 77. I'm 78. It's like 80 or 82. Where the millennials
I thought
start.
you were saying you were 77 years old for a second.
Yes. Yeah.
I'm not
Sit down,
that
you
old.
little shit, and let me tell you about Kennedy. Like,
Grandpa
let me
Simpson.
tell you about the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Like Grandpa Simpson. When I was
You see, in those days, they were the New York Football Giants.
Oh, we reached that day as well one day. But we
Yeah, dude, you're gonna be an old bitch one day. You are. You fucking be like, God damn, dude, I didn't know 20-year-olds looked like they were 6. You will. You will. Actually, it really happens at about 28, you're gonna be like, I did not look that young when I was 18. I didn't. No way 18-year-olds are that fucking childish looking. It's weird, dude. It is. It's hella weird.
And by coincidence, by the way, Steve, we actually me are from the same generation, but I also look like him. People say, tell me.
You do actually look like
No, you kind of do. You do.
Yeah.
So if
You
that's
do.
coinc-
X does not have the permanent chocolate milk gut that you have. But
Oh! my
Oh
darling.
my god!
Ted's like, hold my weed. I'm gonna get you.
I look like I'm pregnant, but
Hold my baby. Got some ass to whoop. Now I want to see Ted in the fucking. Now I want to see Ted with some big ass hoop earrings just for the fuck of it.
oh no, not gonna happen.
Oh my god.
Ted rolling on dubs.
But my beard is a little bit more trimmed than Axis is.
You look
Man,
a bit
mine's
younger than
not.
X, I'll give
Did
you that,
Ray
Ted.
McGovern?
Oh. What happened?
I don't know.
I was just saying, you look younger than X, so I'll give you that, but not much more.
Ouch.
Well,
We've all
not
seen
like
X.
not
That
like
was
Ted
cold.
personally. Well, not like Ted personally, but like people listening in. You know, don't want to give him much more than that.
Right. What we're trying to say, ladies and gentlemen, if you're listening, we're not saying that Ted is as old as X. We're just saying he looks as haggard.
I did not say that. I said he looked younger.
Oh,
Totally not true. It's totally true. He doesn't look anything
No,
like X.
Ted, you are.
He's just
You're a vision of beauty, Ted.
nah.
Oh, so now you're saying X is ugly, Steve?
X.
Keep digging.
I'm not saying X is ugly. I'm just saying that he changed the prescription in his glasses because that house in Mexico had a lot of windows. Kept catching a glimpse of himself and was like, "No, I want that astigmatism back." Kind of like me better nearsighted.
So when is Operation Payback Mexico going to start? Destroy Mexico.
Well, Joe Biden already started it with the record deportations. We got all those, like,
who?
overflow facilities now and the concentration camps and shit. We're getting them back. We are. I'm kidding.
Well, it's fucked up what they did with X, but on the other side, they are on Team Assange, right?
Seems to be, but yeah, I don't
It
know.
seems to be, but I mean, AMLO offered Julian asylum in the 2-day period between his extradition being denied and his bail hearing, and then, you know, his offer of asylum was conveniently used against Assange as a way to paint him as a flight risk. So,
Yeah, and Alamo, to answer you, like, the same as that when Tad started talking about all the contents of X's book, I don't know if it's part of his whole court case, right? So I was thinking I should just shut up about anything that is in there.
Well, I mean,
these-
look, dude, who's to say? I mean, yeah, it's in the book, but
It's all satire until he's like starts.
X is an entertaining individual.
he's a storyteller.
Yeah. And by the way, why shut up about it? Because it is a published book, so if they really want to use it, they can buy a book.
Let's make sure we
Yeah.
don't like confirm or anything that.
No, but I'm just
No.
talking about what he wrote in his book. And that was interesting, you know?
It's satire.
It is satire.
I'm not confirming nor denying that anything of it is true or untrue.
So we'll just
Right.
virtue signal about we read the book, but we don't really know what's in it, and we don't want to refer to it.
But it is the
Self-censor.
best book ever written. It's
Yep.
very powerful and moving, even though I haven't read it.
And inspiring,
For sure, it's the best book ever, definitely.
right? It's also inspiring.
Like reading
it's-
Gone with the Wind.
Well, it's hard
Actually,
to
no,
argue.
it's
you're
way
not,
better than reading fucking Gone with the Wind. I'ma just be real about that. I'm sorry.
I didn't
never-
read Gone with the
never-
Wind.
Actually, I never did read that book. But with the wind. Gone in the wind.
it's just dramatic and slavery and civil war and oh, frankly, my dear, I don't give a damn. And yeah,
I don't think I even read any storybooks. I only read like history books and stuff. It's super boring, but
All the other.
I
This
think-
is interesting too.
I think you kind of gotta find occasionally like some mindless fiction just so you can detach.
okay, I read all the books by Tolkien. That's kind of geeky, but it's true.
Yeah, no, I mean even the Silmarillion.
Yeah, I read one too there. Yeah.
The Silmarillion is the most exhaustive, pedantic fucking slog in literary history.
Even the Children of Húrin, I read.
I didn't even go
Yeah.
cap. I read all the Harry Potter books.
Yeah, no, me too, but I read them to my kids.
Yeah, but I read them as like nerd.
I know Tolkien
Yeah.
was an anarchist, right? And openly an anarchist, and I was just really interested in his
His relationship with C.S. Lewis in their correspondence is fucking killer, dude. Because Lewis, like, professional Christian apologist.
Actually, I was. Oh, yeah.
Huh?
No, go ahead. I just wanted to say something, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, no, I mean, they just had I think I can't remember what the name of the club was at Oxford where they hung out and shit, but they're in like a literary society together, but they would openly debate in correspondence about like faith and theology and stuff like that. Just really fascinating conversations.
because Lewis was the writer of Chronicles of Narnia, etc. Right?
Yeah.
But I got exposed to activism actually as a kid already, because down in the street where my parents lived, there was like a squatted house with people from the punk movement, in it. Yeah, they had some ideas already about stuff going on back then in the, what was it, 80s, 90s, I think more 80s, that I found really interesting, So yeah, back then already I was already influenced by them, And of course, the punk movement was anti-government,
It used to be.
used to
Up
be
until a point.
up to a point.
It-
Yeah.
So the punk was a response to just how ridiculous like disco and shit got, but then punk fucking ended up doing the exact same thing by the time Green Day came around, but like by the time Blink 182 had a record deal, it was done.
Yeah.
Fucking mall punk from there
I was
on out.
talking about that, I'm talking about the time like Sex Pistols and stuff like that. There was more like political, anti-political texts like God Save the Queen and anarchism in the UK, right?
We are very, very rapidly approaching one of my trigger points here.
Oh no! I know what it is. I know what it is.
I'm not gonna do it. Everybody's heard me go off on it. I'm not gonna do it again. All I'm gonna say is that I believe in the power of music, and I believe that the conditions are right genuine hip hop to come back, because back in the day that was the political revolutionary fucking music, punk rock and fucking real hip hop. And we're flat out in the middle of hip hop's disco era. We have been for like half a decade. It's fucking ridiculous, dude. People out
It's
fucking
all about corny
smashing golf
material and
clubs into
shit.
car windows and shit. You fucking
Yeah, and like corny materialist shit, like, oh, I count all my racks and all my bitches, da 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 da, whatever, like utter fucking bullshit. And then like the time they try to be remotely political is when they're fucking shilling for the damn Democrats.
right.
Well, I think that's the big issue. That big money took control of politics. Big money took control of music.
I think that the times like
Corporate fucking bullshit.
It does raise the question, though, whether or not, like, gangster rap was a fucking part of the Tavistock psyop, or whether or not it was actually a legitimate art form. Personally,
well, NWA had some really interesting lyrics about the police, right?
studio gangsters.
But yeah,
Of course, was psyop involved also. Of course.
they had some really interesting stuff to say about the police. That I leave it with that.
All you
right?
do, you criminalize resistance movements. That's very easy. And there was clearly some resistance going on in music. So you criminalize it. Simple. And do you do it by having these parasites attached to it? That's the thing, yeah.
What they're still doing, right?
Do it to everything. It's always the same method.
Alright, y'all, I should get back to the moving stuff. There's still more truck to load up.
Sounds so
Trying
sad when
to-
you say that.
Oh my god, dude, I'm so fucking over this shit. I really am. I just want to fucking huck everything in the back of my truck and take off. I haven't even loaded my truck yet because there's a moving truck that I have to load. But
Just don't
as
think about
long
it. Just move fast.
as long as I'm out of here tomorrow morning, we're fucking good. Be up at the spot for get your shit together tomorrow night. I should have my box of Matrix bars. Because Slow News Day has a sponsor now. Maybe, potentially. Slow News Day potentially has a sponsor.
Nice.
Matrix bars. They are 3.5 gram mushroom chocolate bars.
Oh my
Yeah, that
God.
makes sense.
That
And
Matrix bar.
and it's a great market product. So so it's fitting. It's perfectly fitting. But I don't know if the product lives up to the marketing. So I think either Saturday or for the Sunday afternoon Rockfin only show, we will my friend Ben Balderson and I will test drive this. All of it
Wake up.
live on camera.
What if these Matrix bars totally suck?
If they totally suck, we're gonna find out, and I'm gonna fucking bust them out on a live stream and fucking like, you know, not endorse or allow their product to sponsor the show.
Wake up, Steve. The Matrix has you.
Right? Right? They have like the corniest fucking advertisement for the chocolate bar, and it's like two chicks in bathing suits, and one of them has a fucking bunny tail.
Well, sex sells.
Oh, it's adorable. It is.
Right.
But I mean, it's just like, you know, trippy music, and the chick takes a bite of the chocolate bar, pupils get all giant and cartoony, and I was like, hey, you guys want to sponsor a podcast? Dude was all DMing.
Slam a beautiful woman in bikini on anything and you sell it. Right?
I remember Ben and Jerry's was like into sponsoring Occupy back then. I remember that stuff too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say this, dude. For a giant corporation, Ben and Jerry's isn't 100% terrible,
No, yeah. To be fair, they did help out on with things. So yeah.
They do some cool stuff. I was in a meeting or on a call or something with Ben from Ben and Jerry's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this was fuck. Can't even remember what it was for or why. It was pretty random, but I mean he was a cool dude. There was some project or something that I got roped into briefly. But yeah, Ben from Ben and Jerry. He was one of the people that was like putting up bucks for the project.
I mean, Ron
Anyway.
DeSantis tried to get the state of Florida to sanction Ben and Jerry's.
That's fucking hilarious. There are too many Jews.
Yeah, because
not gonna do
Florida
that.
is the most pro-Israel state in this lovely union. Go
According
fucking
to
fuck
DeSantis,
yourself.
right?
Yeah, go fuck yourself.
Right?
There was something on the German news about, anti-Semitism and blah blah blah, and they said like burning the Israeli flag is anti-Semitism, and I was like, fuck no, we're not against Jews, we are against the state of Israel. That's why we burn the flag of Israel, not because we are against Jews. No, we are
Right?
against.
If we were against Jews, we would burn them, but we're just burning this
Oh
flag.
my god.
Oh, that's no. But
It's a pretty extreme example, but one rooted in history.
because we are against the state of Israel doesn't mean that we are against the Jews itself, right? We're just against the policies that the state of Israel has, right?
Yeah.
Not according to them. Most of the time.
No, they always play the anti-Semitism cards, right?
Constantly. It's part of the religion.
Yeah, but it's just smart politics. Can you actually blame a state like that doing that? I mean, it's just being smart.
Be honest, they always play the victim role. The Second World War victim role. Okay, it was terrible what happened there, but first, it is more than 70 years ago. Come on, get over it. And second,
Well, eventually the Chicken Little shit is gonna backfire.
and
You know,
second,
and I think it has in a lot of different spaces. I mean, think back to May. It was in memory, as far as I can remember, the first time that people on cable news were legitimately criticizing Israel and like putting forth substantive defenses of the Palestinians.
yeah,
And
that's,
that's new.
that's what I wanted to say. Second, first they play the victim role all the time. Second World War, blah blah blah. And second, they are doing exactly the same.
Yeah.
They're doing exactly the same as what happened to them in the Second World War.
Yeah.
That's,
And stop playing the victim. That's fucked up.
yeah, well, I mean, one of the things that makes me positive, at least with the future of Palestine, is kind of how people are more easily shutting down the propaganda. It's like Israel used to be able to have an easier time playing that but Hamas card, but now you can't because it's like because people actually know what's up with that. It's like the original Nakba was in 1948, Hamas was founded in 1987. The fuck are you gonna do about that? You can't butt Hamas your way out of that. And it's like, bro, like Neymar does better dives than the Israelis. Like.
Prior to 1948, there was no Israel. It was all Palestine. It was their country, right? And Israel.
Prior to when? When was this?
But from like 1920 to 1948.
I think it was a British colony actually. The Britain colony.
Yeah, there was the Palestinian Authority or the Palestinian Territory.
Exactly.
But, I mean,
Protectorate.
Even
there's nothing left of
you-
Palestine. There's almost nothing.
if you watch the old Indiana Jones movie, the first Indiana Jones movie, when they have the, you get into airplane and it draws the line to the thing and the thing and the thing, it crosses over Palestine because it's a map that was drawn for like 1939 or 1941 or something like that.
With the arch covenant, that one.
Yeah.
I think that was the first one, right?
Yes. Raiders of the Lost Ark.
Yeah, Raiders of the Lost Ark was it? Yeah. But yeah, if you look now, if you look back then, you know how Palestine looked, what it is now. There's almost nothing left, and the few little spots that are left, they want to steal as well, you know, but still playing the victim role. And I'm like, hell no, you're not a victim. You're as evil as what happened to you back in the Second World War, right?
Yeah. So I should probably split and get back to moving hell. I know I said that like 10 minutes ago, but this time I mean it.
What annoys me the most is that they call the Palestinians terrorists.
Steve, yeah, we'll just jump in back again. We'll be live soon again. I think during the weekend.
Again?
Yeah.
Right on. I'm also gonna have like 6 hours in a truck tomorrow, so I'll probably bug one of you.
Okay.
Later.
Take care, Steve.
Yeah, like I said, that annoys me the most, you know, that they call the Palestinians terrorists, right?
I think Israel is pretty much just a permanent base of in the Middle East, controlled by the people who also control us.
Defending your own country is not terrorism, right?
I think they're defending their own country. They're defending their own, their own culture, their own people. I mean, your own country. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah, your own territory. Yeah.
It is originally their territory, but the Israelis took it. Little by little, they took more of their country, right? And building more settlements everywhere, driving the people that originally lived there out, and building big walls.
Yeah, it's pretty much. I think that this big move started during the Hafara agreement in Germany. This is also like very controversial to talk about, but it is actually what actually happened. And it was in 1933. It was an agreement between Nazi Germany and the Zionist German Jewish community with the Anglo-Palestine Bank, and they moved 60,000 German Jewish people to Palestine, and that's pretty much, I think, when the establishment started there, in that sense. But historically, like, for also Jewish people lived there also for a long time, but they always lived in peace with Islamic people.
Jewish people, Christian people, and Muslim. And there's also an Armenian quarter in Jerusalem where after the Armenian genocide, not a bunch, but like there was a significant community of them that fled to Jerusalem. And it's also the Armenian quarter as well that faces harassment from the Zionists.
Well, and it is not coincidence that all the time when Benjamin Netanyahu was in power, there was always trouble there, right?
The guy who went before him I think was even worse. Netanyahu was a guy who wanted to stay in power, but this other guy, what was his name? He was connected to Epstein too.
Yeah, I can remember. Oh my God, that's a long time ago. Because Netanyahu was already long in power, right? But there was a short time that somebody else was in power, and there was nothing going on, you know? no bombardments on anything.
It was Ehud
And then-
Barak. Ehud
I think
Barak.
yes.
He was the former Israeli Prime Minister Ehud Barak, who has been dogged over his ties to accused sex trafficker Jeffrey Epstein.
I think it was. That's a long time. But I think
As Naftali Bennett is on record saying,
think-
I killed a lot of Arabs and I don't see a problem with that. So, who it is
I think-
now.
officially the Israeli state was established in 48, right? Recognized by England, France, and a few other countries from Europe, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, recognized because they forced hundreds of thousands of Palestinians out of their homes and marched them into refugee camps, a lot of which would end up in Gaza.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what the
Barak was also
that's
the
the
minister.
Nakba.
And be honest, they also abused the kind of guilt trip that Germany had because of what happened in the World War, right? Second World War. They still do it, by the way. They're still rubbing it under their noses, right?
Well, unlike other races that feel like they have to have some kind of atonement because they're being badgered, these people don't have that problem. They just ignore you and do what they do. It's a different type of. There's a lack of awareness there that they're doing what they're doing. That's what I think I see. They really don't believe that doing the same thing and them doing it is the same thing. They don't believe that.
And
Yeah, that's true.
don't get me wrong, like I said, I have nothing against Jews, but those Zionists, I do have something against them,
Mm-hmm. No, those motherfuckers can't guilt trip people anymore.
Well,
I
they're
mean,
trying.
they try, but less and less people are falling for it. More and more people are like, wait, how are you guys any better than the Nazis when you're treating the Palestinians the same way that the Nazis treated the Jews? And then they're like, oh yeah, but that's not happening. Oh really? Because I have video to prove you otherwise.
Yeah, that's the advantage of nowadays internet, right? Everything is being out there, and it's good that it's happening because media is turning a blind eye to it, right?
I think it's been getting a lot more attention, though, in media at least. I mean, granted, it came in phases. Like, there were a lot of people that paid attention to it for a couple weeks, and now they're like, oh, it's not popular to talk about Palestine anymore, so I'm gonna move on. But, like, it did get significantly more fair coverage than anticipated.
And I think that it's a never-ending struggle down there, I mean, they like Mark said, they used to live together, all peace and everything, and now suddenly they feel like they have to own the country, right? Why? Why can't you share it? Fucking religions, right?
Yeah, it's not what the book says either. So you can't do that. It's theirs.
Yeah, because of the religions, which is, by the way, source of most wars, right? In
That's
history.
true.
I mean, I'm talking now as an atheist, because I'm an atheist, but all the organized religions have the feeling like they have a pattern on the truth, right? No, your religion is bullshit. My religion is the truth, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, it's a super difficult concept to talk about the whole Zionism thing because there are different brands in Zionism too. I mean, there's also liberal Zionism, for example, by Stranger, and he that has a different approach on Zionism, right? And that it focuses on human rights, refusal to bow to authoritarianism. They do say they are entitled to a state, but they also say it has to be a liberal democracy, which means that everyone should be equal, independent of religion, ethnicity, or gender, right? But there's much more orthodox streams in it that have different views on that.
Those are the ones that kind of rule in there, right? The Orthodox.
Yeah, but isn't that that is what you see now? That yeah, you see that in more places. This is this aggressive nationalism and this protecting your state at all cost and seeing everyone as an enemy to your state, like every person who doesn't follow completely what you want, right? If you got that.
To
Yeah.
be honest, Israel is a very military state, right?
Yeah, but like if you want to protect a country like Israel in like modern in the modern world, you would actually benefit a lot from like just embracing Palestinians in your country fully, right? Because yeah, you have jobs to fill, you have an army to run, right? You want to protect your country, embrace all of them. They want to be part. They want to have a country together. They want to be equal. You would actually benefit from it a lot. But yeah, people can develop the land together and stuff. But it is this strange movement still exists, and I think it's also a lot done by people who are actually from the outside, who actually do not have a future. A good future for the local people there on their minds, but have other motives like keeping control over the Middle East or whatever, such things.
Oh, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, I mean, like if you so if you just imagine you're just a Jewish lady. Yeah, but it's very simple. You're just a Jewish lady, Jewish mom living there, right? You're like what, 50 years old. You have kids there living there. You just want to go to a supermarket and you just want to live there, right? I don't think you care about hating Palestinian people at all.
No.
That is not it. That is people from the outside, I think, benefit from this. They want to use it as some kind of military base or whatever, keep control over the area, like. Because I don't think that lady who is living there, who has like 2 kids or whatever, just want to go to the supermarket. They don't. That person can be bombed or whatever because by freedom fighters, right? They want they will like wage war for their freedom, right? Puts that lady who is not hostile at risk because some people want to keep these Palestinians oppressed. That she never chose for. This is
be honest, America is buddies with Palestine, but with Israel for that reason, right? To keep control in that area.
Mm-hmm.
Well, we have that here too. Here in the Netherlands, right? They have this complete hate against like Moroccan people, for example, like blaming all the crimes on Moroccan people, and what it actually causes is that they start banding together and actually start becoming like gangs and all these things. They start only considering them other Moroccans as their friends because they are being discriminated against.
Mm-hmm. Oh, there's actually in my town a sticker war going on. Like I said, I work for the city a lot, and I see different kinds of stickers everywhere. You know, some are like Antifa stickers, you know, and some are really anti-Antifa stickers, and they put a sticker somewhere on there, and the next one, like an anti-Antifa, puts a sticker over it. Then put the Antifa one puts a sticker all over that one. You know, it's like a sticker war going on here.
Yeah, that bullshit happens here too. It's so It's so annoying.
Ridiculous, you know.
It's literally the dumbest shit ever. It's a bunch of people whose whole personality revolves around how much they want to punch a Nazi, and then of course, and then maybe a couple of Nazis who come out and nah, we're not gonna get punched. It's so dumb. It's like okay, listen. 98% of the world wants to punch a Nazi. You're not special. I'm sorry.
But yeah, it's so stupid because those garbage bins, they have 7 layers of stickers over each other. Yeah, and I have to get them off all the time. So yeah, this is part of my job, to do that. But it keeps me. It actually gets me paid, but yeah, it is stupid. That stupid sticker war. Keep your opinion for yourself, right?
Seems like that'd get kind of expensive too. I mean, you got to keep, bumper stickers are cheap in the big scheme of things, but I mean, if you're doing that many of them, geez.
Yeah, there are really layer over layer over layer over layer with stickers,
Now, are you sure you're not doing some of that? As keeping your job, what do you call it? Keeping your job going, inside job.
Getting blocked up and going out and putting stickers on trash cans.
Yeah.
The only stickers that I'm sticking on there is a local league stickers. They are all over my town.
So now, do you put a sticker on there telling everybody else not to put a sticker on?
Nope.
Okay.
But actually, there are like this electric cabinets that have stickers forbidden to put stickers on there. And I actually put one sticker over that one. Fuck you. I put my stickers wherever I want, But yeah, they're not political. They're just saying locally.org. Nothing more, just promoting the website. But those Antifa and anti-Antifa stuff, and yeah, there are also stickers with anti-Islam stickers and everything on it. It's just stupid. It's just really retarded,
That's street activism. I mean,
yeah, but on the other side, it's retarded that they just put sticker over sticker over sticker over sticker over sticker. It's stupid. It's a never-ending story. Because I saw it happening here where I live in the neighborhood. Somebody was putting anti-fascist stickers, and somebody else was putting anti-fascist stickers over it, then putting anti-fascist stickers over it again, and so on and so on. And it's yeah, where is this going? You're not making a point, neither of you, right?
It's just petty culture war bullshit.
It's just guys, get together and agree to disagree, and that's it.
man, you gotta protect your turf, man.
Well,
about your turf.
They ended up in the garbage bin now, all of them, except mine. I didn't remove mine.
Of course.
So they'll never track that it's you, right? And your website.
Why, my work doesn't know. That's my website. By the way, it is not my website. It is our website, because it's a whole team behind it. And it's Al, actually, who is running the website. I'm just running the Discord server.
Nice.
Sneaky.
By the way, unfortunately, Divine had to step down from the local league's team for personal reasons.
I saw that. Left everything.
Yeah, unfortunately. I mean, it is kind of disappointing, but yeah, I can understand it. He's going through a lot of personal shit, and I can understand why, you know. But yeah, he was doing a good job with running the Discord server with me together, you know. I
Well,
mean,
just now define that he can like just jump on our show whenever.
yeah, I told him actually, like, hey, we're doing a show. Are you coming? And he said he wanted to come later, but I guess he fell asleep.
Well, next time is fine.
Yeah.
Did we cover everything?
Yeah, I think so.
Something about Twitter.
Oh yeah, Twitter sucks now. It looks really fucked up.
It's dumb as hell.
Yeah.
What changed? Because
Yeah,
They
everything's black
changed the
now.
font. They changed the font to like this fucking Microsoft Business Outlook looking ass Helvetica head ass shit. And then the color scheme is all black and white. So it's like I keep confusing whether I'm following someone or not. 'Cause it's not blue. It's like this empty black and white. It sucks.
You didn't notice that, Tad? Like everything that was blue is now black on Twitter.
I still see it the same as it was on my phone.
Oh yeah, 'cause on the phone it didn't change.
I
If
rarely
you log in on your computer, it's all fucked up. It's garbage.
Should not
Well,
use a phone for anything. you're saying.
Well, yeah, I can use a phone because I have location settings and everything off, so I have that anyway, you know.
Okay, well, they can still find you in 3 seconds. Your location. Just saying.
Yeah.
Well, if you want to find me, they find me anyway, you know. I mean,
Okay.
Well,
they just needed to go to a terminal and type in something, and they find everything of you.
yeah, well, luckily they didn't ever get close to me yet. But
Neither, but teams are not interesting enough to them.
I mean, we did like what is
Yeah,
it, like
they're
6-hour shows?
Totally boring, not worth your time at all. Leave them alone. Totally uninteresting stuff.
Yeah, I'm not important, so don't remind me, you know. like that cop from South Park. Nothing to see here. Move along. Right?
Let's throw in the PSA.
Anonymous PSA, make sure to spam neuter your politicians and lobbyists and bankers and military contractors and royalty. Good
one.